Yes, so in this video I'll be going through how you should read the market and how to read a chart and what are my predictions for the FOMC that is coming most likely tomorrow in about 24 hours. So first of all we'll go towards the PA for BTC and go to the 1 day time frame. You should always start with the highest time frame and move towards the shorter time frames. As you can see, the 1 day time frame is still very bullish. 1 day does take a lot of time to play out because it is the largest time frame that exists, but it is the most easiest to predict, and the best trades can be taken upon the 4 hour and 1 day time frame. So basically, as you can see, what basically happened was it went to this area of interest in like a month ago, and it retested this and then went on to almost touching this golden box that I had marked before this, and it went down, retested it again, went up, tried to go, but it couldn't go to the yellow box, and it went down again into our area of interest. So as you can see, the purple box here has a lot of significance on the daily time frame, so we need to keep this in mind. The purple box has a lot of significance. So now we move on to the 4 hourly time frame. BTC has been following this trend line, and as you can see, yesterday it broke through this, it retested and went down again, but it is coming up again, and I'll tell you the reason in just a bit. But there's another trend line that could be formed from here as well. If BTC loses this trend line, it would be disastrous for BTC, because most likely the next we can either pump from here 26,400 to 26,800 region, and if we lose this, then the last conquering support of BTC would be this yellow box, and if it loses this yellow box, it will go straight towards 27,600 to 24,000 range probably. So hopefully that does not happen, but as you can see, the FOMC is coming up as well. So basically what I have done to mark the price levels is one trend line from here, and we can probably draw another trend line from somewhere around here. This is the second major trend line that we need. This is the major trend line to hold for now to continue the bullish momentum. If it flips this on the 4 hourly and goes to this area, then BTC is bearish on the 4 hour time frame, probably, yes. So as you can see, there's been a lot of red here as well. It did go up, but it's a trend line can also be drawn from here to mark the rejection. If it flips this, it's probably going this. So how would I trade this? I do not normally trade the FOMC because it is highly unreliable, and they usually get both sides. They wick both the longs and the shorts out, so it is definitely not worth it for me. But if you're trying to do something, I would recommend for taking longs, you'd still probably have to wait for the 4 hourly close. So if the 4 hourly close of this comes here and flips this trend line from 29,400 29,500 region, you can, and the 4 hourly candle closes above this, you can either take the entry right there or wait for the retest. Usually the retest does not happen anymore, like it is an old concept. I don't know, for some particular reason if the retest is happening, it's most likely changing price action again. So basically, if it flips this, if price comes from here, flips this, retest, you can long it till this region probably, or around this region right here, 30,000. So that would be a good place to start at. And similarly, if the price goes from here again, something like this would be for the short as well. So now my predictions for the FOMC. Usually there's two conditions for the FOMC. There's two scenarios, bearish and bullish scenarios for the FOMC. Usually when the price dumps before the FOMC, it is particularly due to a reset that is going to occur. If BTC closes the 4 hourly candle above this trend line that I've drawn, the miniature trend line that is going on from here, if BTC closes above this trend line, 4 hourly candle closes above 28,400 and breaks through this purple box, it is ultimately bullish again, and I'll take a long position here, but only if the candle closes. Wait for the candle closes, as they're the biggest indicators in the price action right now. So basically wait for the candle to close and if it does close above, it could just close below the trend line and go down from here. Do not be fooled by this PA. Always believe the PA if the price, if the candle closes. Never jump into positions without the closure of the candle layer. So basically, as the price reset for FOMC, I expect it to pump. Usually that is what happens, but we cannot ignore the PA. The price action is bearish right now. It is not bullish from any unless and until this 4 hourly candle closes above this trend line and above this. I will only take a long trade if the 4 hourly candle closes above my red box at above 28,600. It's not much of a difference, but at least I'll have the surety, peace of mind in my head that I'm following my call right. And what's my invalidation for the long? Invalidation for the long would be 4 hourly close below this box again. If it closes below any time this box, and the PA will be bearish again automatically. So FOMC is coming up. It did take a drop down, and usually when it takes a drop down before the FOMC, it likely means that it is going to pump. So if you see the price going from here, touches this, comes down, opens this, comes here, retests this and breaks through here, you can enter into the longs. Either you can enter into the longs after the break of this trend line, or you could enter the longs right around here as well. At this point as well, you could you could enter the longs at this point as well. Depends your risk tolerance and your preference. If you're taking a long-term swing trade, I would recommend waiting for this trend line to break. And if you're not taking swing trades and you're taking normal trades, would be great if you could wait for the major trend line to break. And if this trend line breaks, this upper major trend line, BTC is ultimately bullish again, and this time it would be very nicely bullish. It would go into this yellow box again, because this resistance area has been retested a lot of times. So basically, the more a trend line and support resistance gets tested, the weaker it becomes. So if it's tapping 2 to 3 times, it usually breaks through. It tapped here, almost tapped here, tried to tap here, and if this time it flips this, it is definitely going into this region. But wait, 4 hourly looks really healthy right now. As you can see, I just told, dump before the FOMC and probably pump into the FOMC as well. So I could be wrong, but observe the PA. If price breaks, how do you, the basic concept we've used is the support and resistance regions and just trend lines. There is nothing more to this. The major trend line, the lower one, if it goes through here, breaks this trend line, you could, now there's 2 scenarios for taking a short trade as well. You could take a short trade by, if the price closes a 4 hourly below the purple box. The purple box is really important in this scenario. If the price does close below the purple box, you could take a short from here, and if the price closes below this, you could either take a short either here on the break of the purple box, or if you want to take it as a swing short with low leverage, you can take it after the break of this trend line. This trend line is very, very important to hold as well. And for the long scenario, the one that I'll be keeping an eye out for will probably be something like this. Yes, as you can see, it is already pumping. 4 hourly as I just mentioned, it just pumped like, I don't know, 0.2% while we were talking. So essentially, if the price flips this, comes up and goes up, I'll probably take it long around this region, and then I'll wait and I'll take my first TP around here. And once I take my TP around here, and I'll wait half of the position, and if it breaks through retest, I'll add some more and then it will go through here. So that is my prediction for the FOMC. That is how you will trade. And if you want a good risk reward ratio for the trade, open the long position. If you can, definitely wait on the long term. This is a good 3RR trade that you can take right here. As you can see, it is already pumping 28,700. We just need an hourly close above this trend line as predicted. It is already moving, making a live move, like I just told you. You could observe the PA and tell that it was very bullish because of this candle close. This candle close, if it closes anywhere around this, above this trend line, BTC would be highly bullish. So I need to put this video out as soon as possible. So that is basically how you trade FOMC, and both scenarios as a trade explained. So thoughts and predictions about the FOMC also include the rate hike. The forecast is 25 basis points. So there's two scenarios here as well. It comes as 25 basis point, and if it does, there's a likely chance that it'll either pump or the PA will stay the same. It will range a bit, and then the market makers will decide the further direction of BTC, right? And there is another scenario that there will be a 50 basis points hike. If 50 basis point hikes comes, BTC will probably die. It will break this trend line and it will be fair. If you see 50 basis points rate hike, just immediately watch the PA. As soon as price breaks 15-minute candle below this, you could simply take a long. As you can see, BTC just pumped like 0.4% while we were talking. So this is live. Like, I gave the trade, long trade right now, and it is already pumping. So this is a really healthy candle close for BTC right now. So yes, those are my thoughts for the FOMC, how you trade the charts, how you watch the price action, and how to take a trade based on trend lines and support and resistance areas. Basic concepts.